Imagine this. You're scrolling through countless articles and videos, hoping to uncover the elusive secret to captivating a man's attention. You've tried everything, from playful texts to perfectly curated outfits, yet it feels like the chase fizzles out too soon. Is it something you're doing wrong? Or is it the modern dating game that's rigged? Here's the truth. Attracting a man and keeping him intrigued isn't about playing games or molding yourself into someone else. Instead, it's about unlocking the power of your authentic self, enhanced by subtle, timeless principles. What if I told you that the answer doesn't lie in fleeting trends or surface-level tips? Instead, it's rooted in wisdom from Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that champions emotional strength, self-awareness, and authenticity. By integrating these principles into your life, you can create an irresistible allure that not only draws men in, but also keeps them invested in pursuing you. In this guide, we're revealing 10 secrets to make any man not just notice you, but actively chase you. These aren't gimmicks. They're actionable steps that will transform the way you approach relationships. You'll discover how to cultivate mystery, demonstrate independence, and develop the kind of confidence that's undeniably magnetic. Each secret is designed to enhance not only your relationships, but also your overall sense of self-worth. So here's the question. Are you ready to stop chasing and start being chased? Let's dive into the first secret, one that sets the foundation for everything to come. 1. Cultivate mystery. What is it about mystery that keeps people intrigued? Think about the last time you encountered someone who left you guessing. Someone whose life seemed layered, dynamic, and fascinating. Did you find yourself wanting to know more, to peel back the layers of their story? That's the power of mystery, and it's your secret weapon for captivating any man's attention. But let's be clear. Cultivating mystery isn't about withholding or being secretive in a way that feels manipulative. It's about creating a sense of discovery, an invitation for him to learn more about you over time. Imagine your life as a novel. If you reveal the ending in the first chapter, what's left to explore? Start by sharing parts of your story selectively. If you have a fascinating hobby or an unusual talent, hint at it in conversation without diving into every detail. For example, instead of saying, "I love painting and I just finished a landscape of the Alps," you might say, "I spend a lot of time painting. It's my way of escaping into a different world." Notice how the latter invites curiosity. It makes him want to ask, "What do you paint? What inspires you?" This principle extends to how you spend your time. Pursue your passions independently without feeling the need to narrate every moment. Whether it's dedicating time to yoga, writing, or catching up with friends, your commitment to your personal life sends a powerful message. Your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else. When a man sees that you have a rich, full life, he'll want to be part of it, not because you need him to complete you, but because your independence is captivating. Think about the icons of intrigue throughout history, women who balanced openness with an air of mystery. They didn't rush to spill every detail of their thoughts, feelings, or past. Instead, they allowed others to discover them in layers, making each interaction feel like a privilege. But here's the twist. Cultivating mystery isn't about being distant or unapproachable. It's about creating a balance between sharing and withholding. For example, if he asks about your weekend plans, you might say, "I'm spending time on something I love," rather than giving him a play-by-play of every activity. This leaves room for him to ask questions, to remain curious, and to want more. Stoicism, at its core, emphasizes inner strength and self-reliance, qualities that naturally foster mystery. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, wrote extensively about finding fulfillment within yourself, rather than seeking it externally. By embracing this mindset, you project an image of someone who is content and confident in her own company. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about genuinely valuing your time, energy, and independence. So let me ask you this. Are you willing to let go of the need to overshare? Can you allow him the thrill of discovering you gradually? By cultivating mystery, you not only pique his interest, but also set the stage for a relationship built on genuine curiosity and respect. Ready for the next step? Let's explore how emotional resilience can amplify your allure and make him chase you with unwavering fascination. 2. Build emotional resilience. What truly sets a woman apart in the eyes of a man? Is it her looks, her charm? While those things might catch his attention, it's her emotional resilience that will keep him captivated. Why? Because a woman who is emotionally grounded exudes a sense of calm confidence that is both magnetic and reassuring. Picture this. You're dating someone you really like, and suddenly plans fall through, or he doesn't reply to your text right away. What do? Do you spiral into frustration, sending a flurry of follow-up messages? Or do you take a deep breath, step back, and stay composed? Emotional resilience is the ability to choose the latter. It's about showing strength and self-control even when emotions run high. Here's the thing. Many are naturally drawn to women who can weather life's ups and downs with grace. Emotional stability signals maturity, confidence, and most importantly, trustworthiness. Think about it. Would you feel safe opening up to someone who reacts impulsively or gets upset over every little inconvenience? Probably not. The same goes for him. But how do you build this kind of resilience? First, adopt a mindset rooted in Stoicism, the philosophy of controlling your reactions and focusing on what you can control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. This means letting go of the need to control his actions or the relationship's pace. Instead, channel that energy into mastering your own thoughts and emotions. For example, let's say he cancels a date at the last minute. Instead of reacting with anger or disappointment, pause and consider your response. Maybe he's genuinely busy or overwhelmed. Give him the benefit of the doubt, while also showing you value your time. A simple, "I understand, let's reschedule when it works better for you," communicates maturity and self-respect. It shows that while you're understanding, you also won't tolerate being taken for granted. Another key aspect of emotional resilience is staying grounded in your own happiness. Men find it incredibly attractive when a woman doesn't hinge her mood or sense of worth on their behavior. Instead, she thrives independently with or without them. This doesn't mean you're indifferent or aloof. It simply means you're secure in yourself. Imagine how powerful it feels to say, "I'm happy with my life," and if someone wants to be part of it, that's a bonus, not a necessity. Let's take this deeper with an example. Imagine you're in a conversation, and he shares a stressful situation from work. Instead of mirroring his stress or jumping in to fix it, you remain calm and supportive. You might say, "That sounds like a tough spot. I'm sure you'll figure out the best way to handle it." This response doesn't diminish his feelings, but instead reflects confidence in his ability to solve his own problems. He'll see you as a source of stability, a partner who doesn't get rattled easily. But being emotionally resilient doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending you're unaffected by everything. In fact, emotional resilience requires you to acknowledge your emotions while choosing not to let them control you. If something bothers you, it's okay to communicate that calmly and respectfully. For example, "I felt a little disappointed when our plans changed last minute. But I understand life happens." This type of honesty strengthens trust without creating unnecessary drama. Think about the people in your life who seem unshakable, the ones who radiate calm even in chaos. Don't you feel drawn to them? That's the energy you want to cultivate, and it starts with building emotional resilience. By doing so, you're not just becoming more attractive to him. You're also growing into a stronger, more confident version of yourself. So here's a little challenge for you. The next time you feel tempted to overreact or seek reassurance, pause, take a deep breath and ask yourself, What can I control in this situation? Respond thoughtfully instead of impulsively. With time, this practice will transform how you approach not just relationships, but life itself. And now let's hear from you. If you're loving these insights so far, like this video and comment number 1 below to let us know. Your support helps us create more content like this to empower you in your relationships. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss a step on your journey to mastering the art of Stoic dating. Ready to level up your allure even further? Let's move on to the next secret that will make any man chase you. Mastering effective communication. Communicate effectively. Have you ever wondered why some conversations feel effortless and magnetic while others fall flat? Communication is one of the most powerful tools in any relationship, but it's not just about talking, it's about connecting. When you communicate effectively, you create a bond that goes beyond attraction. You make him feel understood, respected, and deeply drawn to you. But here's the secret. Effective communication isn't about saying the perfect thing or dominating the conversation. It's about creating a space where both people feel valued and heard. So, how do you master this art? First, it's important to strike the right balance between speaking and listening. Picture this. You're on a date, and he's sharing a story about his favorite childhood memory. Do you jump in with your own story the moment he pauses? Or do you take a moment to reflect on what he said and respond thoughtfully? Active listening is key here. Instead of planning your next words while he's talking, focus entirely on him. Nod, maintain eye contact, and ask follow-up questions like, what made that experience so special for you? This shows that you're genuinely engaged and interested, but effective communication isn't just about listening. It's also about expressing yourself in a way that feels authentic and confident. Men are drawn to women who have opinions, passions, and ideas of their own. So the next time a topic comes up, don't hesitate to share your thoughts. For example, if he's talking about his favorite vacation spots and you have a soft spot for an off-the-beaten-path destination, share why it's meaningful to you. Your perspective adds depth and intrigue to the conversation. Here's the catch. Your tone and delivery matter as much as your words. Stoic philosophy teaches us to communicate with intention and self-control, ensuring that our words align with our values. Instead of blurting something out in the heat of the moment, take a breath and think about the impact of your words. Will they add value to the conversation? Will they reflect your true thoughts and feelings? For example, imagine you're discussing a topic you disagree on, like a movie you both watched. Instead of dismissing his opinion outright, you might say, I can see why you felt that way about the ending, but I interpreted it differently. Here's what stood out to me. This approach shows that you're open to dialogue even when your views differ. It also highlights your ability to navigate disagreements with grace, a quality that's rare and deeply attractive. Another key element of effective communication is vulnerability. Many people shy away from showing their true selves out of fear of being judged. But vulnerability is what creates connection. When you share something meaningful about yourself, a challenge you've overcome, a lesson you've learned, or even a small fear, you invite him to do the same. This exchange of authenticity builds trust and deepens the bond between you. That said, vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing. It's about finding the right moments to let him into your world. Think of it as peeling back layers of an onion, revealing just enough to keep him intrigued without overwhelming him with too much too soon. For instance, instead of launching into a detailed story about a past relationship, you might say, I've learned a lot about myself through my past experiences, and I'm grateful for how they've shaped me. This invites curiosity while maintaining boundaries. Nonverbal communication is another powerful tool in your arsenal. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone all speak volumes. A warm smile, steady eye contact, and an open posture can make you seem approachable and confident even before you say a word. Conversely, crossing your arms or avoiding eye contact might unintentionally signal disinterest or discomfort. Finally, remember that effective communication also involves knowing when to step back. Not every silence needs to be filled, and not every moment calls for conversation. Sometimes, simply being present together creates a deeper connection than words ever could. Think about it. When was the last time you had a conversation that felt truly meaningful? What made it stand out? Chances are, it wasn't the topic itself, but the way you felt during the exchange. Understood, respected, and connected. That's the kind of experience you want to create in your interactions with him. By mastering the art of communication, you position yourself as someone who not only attracts attention but also holds it. You become the woman who stands out, not because of flashy words or surface-level charm, but because of the genuine connection you inspire. When you communicate with confidence, authenticity, and empathy, you become unforgettable. Now that you've unlocked the power of communication, it's time to explore another secret to captivating any man's attention, staying true to your values. Get ready to dive even deeper. 4. Stay true to your values. Let me ask you something. How often do you find yourself compromising your beliefs to make someone else happy? Maybe it's something small, like pretending to enjoy a movie you don't care for, or something bigger, like agreeing to plans that clash with your priorities. Here's the hard truth. Every time you compromise your values to please someone else, you chip away at your authenticity and your power. When it comes to relationships, staying true to your values is non-negotiable. A woman who knows what she stands for and doesn't bend for fleeting approval is someone men deeply admire and respect. Why? Because she radiates self-respect and integrity, two qualities that make her irresistible. Picture this. You're dating a man who suggests something that goes against one of your core principles. Maybe he's encouraging you to skip an important work commitment to spend time with him. What do? The easy option might be to give in and join him, but at what cost? Instead, consider standing firm and saying something like, "I'd love to spend time with you, but this commitment is really important to me. Let's plan for another time." This response shows that while you value him, you value your goals and responsibilities just as much. Staying true to your values doesn't mean being rigid or inflexible. It means knowing where you draw the line. For instance, if honesty is one of your guiding principles, you don't just demand it from others, you embody it yourself. If he asks for your opinion on something like his career decision or a family matter, don't just tell him what you think he wants to hear. Share your perspective with kindness and sincerity. A simple, "I appreciate how much thought you're putting into this, and here's how I see it," not only communicates honesty, but also shows that you respect him enough to be truthful. Values are also about the way you approach your own growth and priorities. If self-improvement is important to you, let it shine in your daily life. Pursue your passions, stay committed to your goals, and strive to be the best version of yourself, not for anyone else, but for you. When a man sees that you have ambition and a clear sense of purpose, he won't just be attracted to you, he'll be inspired by you. This is one of the cornerstones of Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes living in alignment with your ideals. Imagine how powerful it feels to walk through life knowing that your actions align with your beliefs. When you make decisions rooted in your values, you project confidence and strength. Men are naturally drawn to this kind of authenticity because it's rare in a world where so many people seek external validation. A woman who finds fulfillment within herself stands out. But staying true to your values doesn't mean neglecting the relationship. It's about balance. Show him that while you prioritize your goals and principles, you also value the connection you share. For example, if you're working toward a big career milestone, let him know how much it means to you, while also making time for moments together. Something as simple as saying, "I have a big week ahead, but I'd love to carve out time for us on Friday night," communicates both commitment and balance. One of the most attractive traits a woman can have is consistency. When your actions consistently reflect your values, you build trust and respect, not just with him, but with yourself. If he sees that you're unwavering in your principles, he'll know you're someone he can count on, even during tough times. Trust me, that kind of reliability is magnetic. Take a moment to reflect. What are your core values? Maybe it's honesty, kindness, independence, or ambition. Whatever they are, make them your compass in every interaction, especially in your relationships. A man who truly values you will respect and admire your commitment to living authentically. Now it's your turn. Like this video and comment number 1 below if this resonates with you. Your support encourages us to keep creating content that empowers you to build stronger, more authentic relationships. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another step on your journey to mastering the art of relationships and embracing the same principles of Stoicism. Ready to dive into the next secret? Let's uncover the beauty of independence and why it's so alluring to men. Demonstrate independence. Imagine meeting someone who has a vibrant, fulfilling life of their own, a person who doesn't need others to complete them because they are already whole. Wouldn't you find that incredibly attractive? That's the power of independence, and it's a quality that will make any man chase you. True independence isn't about shutting others out or appearing detached. It's about living a life so full of purpose and passion that anyone who enters it feels like they've stumbled into something extraordinary. When you prioritize your own growth, hobbies, and relationships, you naturally become more intriguing and desirable. Think about this. When was the last time you felt completely in your element, doing something you love? Maybe it was during a hike, a creative project, or a moment of career success. That energy, the spark that lights up your face when you're fully immersed in your passions, is what draws people in. It's not about proving you're better off alone. It's about showing that you're thriving, whether someone is there or not. Here's the key. Make space for the things that matter to you, even when you're dating. For instance, if you love painting, don't skip your art sessions just because he's free that evening. Instead, let him see that you have commitments to yourself and your passions. You might say, "I'd love to see you this week, but I've already planned some time to work on a painting I've been really excited about. Let's figure out another day." This response not only communicates your priorities, but also adds a layer of intrigue. He'll want to know more about what lights you up. Independence also means maintaining your own social circle. Spend time with your friends, family, and the people who make you feel supported and alive. When he sees that you have meaningful relationships outside of him, it signals that your world doesn't revolve around him. This isn't about creating distance. It's about showing that your life is already rich and complete, and he's a wonderful addition, not the sole focus. But independence goes deeper than just your schedule. It's also about emotional self-sufficiency. A truly independent woman doesn't rely on external validation to feel worthy. Instead, she finds fulfillment in her achievements, passions, and personal growth. For example, if you're working toward a fitness goal or learning a new skill, celebrate those milestones for yourself. When you share your progress with him, it's not to seek approval, but to share your joy and pride. Men are naturally drawn to women who exude this kind of self-confidence. Why? Because independence shows that you're not afraid to be yourself. It signals that you have high standards, not just for others, but for your own life. When a man sees that you're living intentionally, he'll want to rise to meet your level of purpose and drive. This is where the principles of Stoicism come into play. The Stoics believed in focusing on what you can control, your own thoughts, actions, and growth, rather than trying to change others. By embodying this mindset, you project a sense of calm and strength that's undeniably attractive. You're not chasing after anyone's attention because you know your worth. You're simply inviting them to be part of your journey if they align with your values. Let's take a moment to consider what independence doesn't look like. It doesn't mean shutting people out or refusing help when you need it. It's not about pretending you don't care when you do. Independence is about knowing that your happiness isn't contingent on someone else's actions. It's about loving your life so much that you're excited to share it, but not desperate to do so. Imagine this scenario. He's curious about your weekend plans, and instead of waiting for him to decide what the two of you will do, you say, "I'm going to brunch with some friends," and then checking out a new art exhibit I've been wanting to see. This kind of statement shows that you're proactive, engaged with the world, and not just sitting around waiting for his call. And guess what? That makes him want to be part of your vibrant life. But independence isn't just about what you do, it's about how you think. Are you confident in your decisions? Do you trust your instincts? When you make choices that align with your own needs and values, you show him that you're self-assured and capable. For example, if he suggests a plan that doesn't appeal to you, don't be afraid to say, "That's not really my thing, but I'd love to do something else together." This communicates that you respect your own preferences while still valuing the relationship. The beauty of independence is that it creates space for both you and him to grow. A relationship built on independence isn't about two people merging into one. It's about two complete individuals coming together to create something even stronger. When you demonstrate that you have your own life, it inspires him to pursue you not because he feels needed, but because he genuinely wants to be part of your world. By living authentically and prioritizing your independence, you embody a sense of self-worth that's rare and captivating. When you let him see glimpses of your rich, fulfilling life, he'll realize that being with you isn't just a privilege. It's a journey worth chasing. Now let's continue this journey together by exploring the next secret, one that will help you cultivate even deeper emotional connections and inspire meaningful conversations. Stay with me. It's about to get even better. 6. Inspire deep conversations. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you had a conversation that stayed with you long after it ended? Not the casual chit-chat about the weather or your favorite coffee order, but a genuine soul-stirring exchange that made you feel truly seen and understood. Those are the kinds of conversations that create real connections, and they're exactly the kind of moments that will make him want to keep coming back for more. Here's the secret. Most people skim the surface in conversations, sticking to safe, predictable topics. But if you want to stand out, you need to dive deeper. Ask the questions that matter, share the stories that shaped you, and invite him to do the same. By fostering meaningful dialogue, you create an emotional intimacy that transcends attraction. You become unforgettable. Start by being genuinely curious. Men, just like anyone else, want to feel that their thoughts, dreams, and experiences matter. Instead of asking, "How was your day?" try something like, "What's something that made you laugh today?" Or, "What's been inspiring you lately?" These questions are open-ended, inviting him to share more than just a surface-level response. They show that you're interested in who he is, not just how he fits into your life. When he opens up, listen. Really listen. Don't just wait for your turn to speak or mentally plan your response. Pay attention to his words, his tone, and even the emotions behind what he's saying. If he talks about a childhood memory or a personal goal, follow up with thoughtful questions. For instance, if he shares that he used to dream of being a musician, you might ask, "What was it about music that drew you in?" Or, "Do you ever think about picking it up again?" These kinds of questions signal that you value his perspective and experiences. But meaningful conversations aren't just about asking questions, they're also about sharing pieces of yourself. Vulnerability is the key to forging deep connections. For example, if he talks about a challenge he's facing, don't just offer generic encouragement. Instead, share a time when you faced a similar challenge and what you learned from it. You might say, "I remember feeling that way when I was starting my career. One thing that helped me was focusing on what I could control, even when so much felt uncertain." By opening up, you show that you trust him with your story, which encourages him to do the same. At the heart of this approach lies a core principle of Stoicism: authenticity. Stoic philosophy teaches us to embrace truth and sincerity in our relationships. By bringing your true self to every conversation, you create an environment where both you and he can connect on a deeper level. You're not trying to impress him with rehearsed lines or polished anecdotes. You're simply being real, and that kind of honesty is magnetic. Let's take a moment to explore what happens when you inspire these kinds of conversations. Imagine you're on a date, and instead of the usual back and forth about work or favorite movies, you ask, "What's one thing you've always wanted to do but haven't yet?" Suddenly the dynamic shifts. He's not just talking about his day, he's sharing a dream, a glimpse into his inner world. And as he does, he starts associating those feelings of excitement and possibility with you. That's the power of deep conversation. It builds not just attraction, but connection. But here's the catch. Inspiring, meaningful conversations isn't about making everything heavy or serious. It's about balance. Some moments call for playful banter and light-hearted jokes, while others invite deeper reflection. Trust your instincts to guide the flow of the conversation. If you sense that he's in the mood to keep things fun and casual, go with it. If he's opening up about something personal, lean into that vulnerability and respond in kind. Nonverbal communication also plays a huge role here. Your body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice can either encourage him to open up or make him feel guarded. A warm smile, steady eye contact, and a gentle tone signal that you're fully present and engaged. These subtle cues create a safe space for him to share more of himself, which deepens the connection. And don't underestimate the power of silence. Sometimes the most meaningful moments in a conversation come not from what's said, but from what's felt. If he's sharing something deeply personal, resist the urge to fill the silence with reassurances or advice. Instead, simply hold the space for him to express himself. This kind of attentiveness shows that you value not just his words, but the emotions behind them. As you master the art of deep conversation, you'll notice a shift in the way he interacts with you. He'll start to see you as someone who understands him on a level few others do. And that's the kind of connection that inspires pursuit. Not because he feels obligated, but because he genuinely wants to be around you. If this resonates with you, it's time to let us know. Like this video and comment number 1 to show your support and share your thoughts on this transformative approach. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another tip on creating meaningful connections and embracing the power of Stoicism in your relationships. Now that you've unlocked the secret to inspiring deep conversations, let's move on to the next step, one that will leave him in awe of your decisiveness and confidence. Stay with me, because it's about to get even better. 7. Be decisive and confident. Imagine you're out on a date, and a simple question like, "Where should we go for dinner?" sparks an awkward back and forth. You say, "I don't know, what do you want?" He replies, "I'm fine with anything, what about you?" The exchange drags on, and neither of you takes the lead. It's a moment we've all experienced. But here's the truth. Indecision can dilute attraction. Now imagine the same scenario with a different approach. He asks where you'd like to eat, and you confidently suggest, "There's a cozy Italian place I've been wanting to try. Let's go there." Your decisiveness sends a subtle yet powerful message. You know what you want, and you're not afraid to express it. This level of confidence is magnetic because it reflects self-assurance and clarity, qualities that men deeply admire. Being decisive doesn't mean you have to control every situation or overshadow his input. It's about knowing your preferences and being unafraid to voice them. Men are drawn to women who are clear about what they want, whether it's choosing a restaurant, planning a weekend trip, or discussing the direction of a relationship. Your decisiveness shows that you value your time and energy, and you're not afraid to make choices that reflect those values. But confidence isn't just about making decisions. It's also about how you carry yourself. It's in the way you walk into a room, how you hold a conversation, and how you respond to challenges. A confident woman doesn't shy away from expressing her thoughts, even if they differ from his. For example, if he has a strong opinion about a topic, don't hesitate to share your perspective even if it's not aligned. You might say, "I see your point, but here's how I look at it." This kind of exchange doesn't create conflict, it creates respect. He'll appreciate that you're secure enough in yourself to stand your ground. At the same time, confidence also means embracing vulnerability. It's about being authentic, even when it feels risky. If you're unsure about something or make a mistake, own it. Saying, "I'm not sure, but I'd love to hear your thoughts," or, "Oh, you're right, I didn't think of it that way," shows that you're comfortable with imperfection. This balance between strength and humility is incredibly appealing because it's real. It tells him that you're human and confident enough to embrace it. Let's not forget that confidence and decisiveness are deeply tied to self-respect. A decisive woman doesn't settle for less than what she deserves. If a man's behavior doesn't align with your values or needs, it's okay to call it out or set boundaries. For instance, if he consistently cancels plans last minute, you might say, "I value my time, and it feels disappointing when plans change like this. Let's make sure the next time we plan something, it works for both of us." This isn't about being confrontational. It's about showing that you respect yourself enough to communicate your standards clearly. Stoic philosophy offers powerful insights here. One of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is focusing on what you can control. When you approach situations with decisiveness, you're asserting control over your own choices rather than leaving them to chance or the whims of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." Similarly, instead of debating or hesitating over what you should do, simply act in alignment with your values. This clarity and purpose not only make your life more fulfilling, but also make you incredibly attractive to others. Think of decisiveness as a way to show leadership in your own life. When you take initiative, whether it's suggesting a new activity, proposing a solution to a problem, or pursuing a personal goal, you demonstrate that you're a person of action, not just words. Men notice this and are inspired by it. They see you as someone who adds value to their life because you're already living with purpose. But what about those moments when you're genuinely unsure? That's okay too. Confidence doesn't mean having all the answers. It means being comfortable with the unknown. If he asks a question and you're unsure, you can say, "I haven't thought about that, but I'm curious to hear your perspective." This response not only keeps the conversation going, but also shows that you're open-minded and secure enough to admit when you don't know something. Confidence also shows in how you handle setbacks or challenges. Life isn't always smooth sailing, but how you respond to bumps in the road says a lot about you. For instance, if a plan falls through or something unexpected happens, instead of dwelling on the disappointment, take the lead in finding a solution. You might say, "Well, that didn't work out. Let's try something else." This kind of adaptability and positivity is deeply attractive because it shows that you're not easily thrown off course. Ultimately, being decisive and confident isn't about proving anything to him. It's about embodying your own sense of self-worth. When you know who you are and what you want, you create a presence that's impossible to ignore. He'll see you not just as someone he admires, but as someone he wants to chase because being with you feels inspiring and uplifting. As you continue to embrace decisiveness and confidence, you'll find that it transforms not only your relationships, but every area of your life. The next time you're faced with a choice, big or small, trust yourself to make the call. You'll be amazed at how empowering it feels and how powerfully it draws him to you. Let's move forward and explore the next secret, one that invites a surprising twist on connection: the power of asking for small favors. Stay with me because this one might just change the game. 8. Ask for small favors. Have you ever noticed how doing something small for someone can make you feel closer to them? It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? We often think that the way to win someone's affection is by doing things for them. But what if the opposite is true? What if asking for a small favor could actually make him more drawn to you? This phenomenon is known as the Benjamin Franklin effect, and it's rooted in psychology. When someone does something for you, their mind subconsciously justifies their action by believing they must like or care about you. It's a subtle but powerful way to create connection and investment. And here's the best part. It works brilliantly in the world of relationships. So how do you put this into practice without seeming manipulative or needy? The key lies in the word small. Asking for a minor, thoughtful favor, one that aligns naturally with the context of your interactions, can spark a sense of closeness without putting pressure on him. For example, let's say he's a foodie and you're at a cafe together. You could ask, "You seem to know a lot about coffee. What would you recommend I try here?" Or, if you're texting, you might say, "I'm torn between two outfits for an event. Would you help me decide?" These kinds of requests are low stakes, easy to fulfill, and often enjoyable for him. They also show that you value his input, which makes him feel respected and needed. But why does this work so well? Because asking for a small favor flips the dynamic. Instead of positioning yourself as someone who's constantly trying to impress or give, you're inviting him to invest in you. And as he does, he begins to feel more connected to you on a deeper level. It's not about manipulating his actions. It's about creating opportunities for mutual exchange and connection. Of course, timing and context are everything. You don't want to ask for favors too frequently or in a way that feels contrived. Keep it natural. For instance, if you know he's great at recommending books, you might say, "I'm looking for something inspiring to read. Any suggestions?" This kind of favor fits seamlessly into the flow of conversation and highlights something he enjoys sharing. At the same time, it's important to balance these moments by reciprocating. If he does something thoughtful for you, acknowledge it with genuine appreciation and look for opportunities to return the favor in small, meaningful ways. For example, if he helps you choose a coffee blend, you might later surprise him with one of your favorite snacks or share a fun recommendation of your own. These little exchanges build a sense of teamwork and mutual care. Asking for small favors also aligns beautifully with the principles of Stoicism. The Stoics believed in cultivating relationships based on respect and genuine connection, rather than superficial gestures. By inviting him to contribute in small, meaningful ways, you're fostering a bond rooted in authenticity rather than performance. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the importance of building relationships that are grounded in mutual understanding and shared values, and this principle applies perfectly here. But let's address an important point. This isn't about being helpless or dependent, quite the opposite. A confident, independent woman who occasionally asks for a small favor shows that she's secure enough to invite others into her world. It's a subtle way of saying, "I value my independence, but I also value what you bring to the table." This balance is incredibly appealing because it feels real and grounded. Now let's explore how this plays out in action. Imagine you're planning a day trip and know he's familiar with the area. Instead of researching every detail yourself, you might say, "I know you've been here before. Any must-see spots you'd recommend?" This request doesn't burden him, but it gives him the opportunity to share his knowledge and feel involved in your plans. When you later follow through on his suggestion and share how much you enjoyed it, it reinforces the positive dynamic between you. Here's another example. If he has a particular skill or interest, find a way to tap into it. If he's a music lover, you might ask, "I'm putting together a playlist. What's a song you think I absolutely have to include?" These little moments of engagement make him feel seen and appreciated, and they create a subtle but lasting sense of connection. But what if you're worried about asking for favors too soon? Start small. Even something as simple as, "Can you hold this for a moment?" When you're out together, can plant the seeds of connection. The key is to keep things light, natural, and considerate. Now it's your turn. What's a small favor you could ask that feels genuine and aligned with your interactions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this secret resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and comment number 1 to let us know. Your feedback helps us create more content that empowers you to master the art of relationships. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another insight on using the wisdom of Stoicism to transform your dating life. Ready to take things further? Let's move on to the next secret, one that will deepen your emotional connection and make him see you in a whole new light. 9. Keep a touch of mystery. Have you ever noticed how much more captivating a story is when you don't know the ending? There's something irresistible about the unknown, about wanting to piece together the puzzle for yourself. This principle doesn't just apply to novels or movies, it applies to relationships too. If you want to keep a man intrigued, one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal is mystery. But let's clarify what mystery really means. It's not about being secretive or playing games. Instead, it's about pacing what you reveal and leaving space for curiosity. Mystery creates an air of excitement and depth, making him eager to learn more about you. It's the balance between being open enough to connect and holding back just enough to keep him fascinated. So, how do you strike this balance? Start by being selective about what you share. For example, if you have an interesting story or a unique talent, don't feel the need to lay it all out at once. Maybe you mention in passing that you've travelled to a remote village or completed a creative project you're proud of, but you don't immediately dive into every detail. Instead, let him be the one to ask questions and want to know more. By revealing parts of yourself gradually, you create a sense of discovery that keeps the relationship dynamic and engaging. Another way to maintain mystery is by keeping a life outside the relationship. This doesn't mean being distant. It means nurturing your own passions, friendships, and routines. When he sees that your life doesn't revolve entirely around him, it makes you even more captivating. For instance, if you're working on a personal goal, such as learning a new skill or pursuing a fitness milestone, don't feel the need to explain every step of the process. Simply share snippets when it feels natural, leaving room for him to be curious and impressed. Mystery also lies in how you spend your time together. Think about how much more intriguing it feels when someone shares just a bit of a captivating story, leaving you eager for the next chapter. You can create this same effect in your interactions. For example, if you're sharing a memory, instead of saying, "Here's exactly what happened," you might frame it as, "There's a story about that, but I'll save it for another time." It's a small touch, but it plants a seed of curiosity that keeps him thinking about you long after the conversation ends. Maintaining mystery isn't about being aloof or unapproachable. It's about knowing your own value. When you're secure in yourself, you don't feel the need to overshare or seek constant validation. This quiet confidence is magnetic. It tells him that there's more to you than meets the eye, and it invites him to keep exploring who you are. One of the most profound insights from Stoicism is the value of self-containment. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of finding strength and fulfillment within yourself, rather than seeking it externally. By embracing this principle, you naturally exude a sense of independence and depth. You're not trying to prove anything to him because you're already whole, and that's what makes you so intriguing. But let's be clear, maintaining mystery doesn't mean withholding your feelings or being emotionally distant. Vulnerability is still essential in any relationship. The key is to choose the right moments to open up. For example, if you've been discussing lighter topics and the mood shifts, you might share a meaningful experience or a personal insight. This contrast between the light and the deep adds layers to your connection, making your bond feel even richer. Think about some of the most memorable connections you've had. Chances are they weren't built on knowing everything about someone right away. They were built on moments of discovery, learning something new about each other piece by piece. By keeping a touch of mystery, you create space for those moments to unfold naturally. Another way to cultivate mystery is to embrace a sense of unpredictability. This doesn't mean being inconsistent. It means occasionally surprising him in thoughtful ways. Maybe you suggest a spontaneous adventure or introduce him to something you're passionate about that he didn't know you loved. These moments add an element of surprise that keeps the relationship exciting and dynamic. Finally, remember that mystery isn't just about what you share. It's also about how you carry yourself. Confidence, poise, and self-assurance all contribute to your allure. When you walk into a room with quiet confidence, when you listen more than you speak, or when you take your time to respond thoughtfully, you exude an air of depth and composure that's impossible to ignore. The beauty of mystery is that it allows the relationship to evolve naturally. It gives both of you room to grow, to learn, and to connect on a deeper level. And the best part? It keeps him captivated, not because you're playing a role, but because you're showing him glimpses of the multifaceted, vibrant person you truly are. As you embrace this principle, you'll find that it transforms not only your relationships but also the way you see yourself. You'll feel more confident, more self-assured, and more aligned with the kind of connection you truly deserve. Let's move on to the final secret, one that ties everything together with patience and poise. Stay with me, it's all coming full circle. Practice patience. Patience is a virtue we often hear about but rarely appreciate, especially in the fast-paced world of dating, where instant gratification seems to reign supreme. But let me tell you, patience is not only a sign of emotional maturity, but it's also one of the most attractive qualities you can embody. Why? Because patience exudes confidence, self-control, and an unshakable sense of trust in yourself and the process of connection. Picture this. You're getting to know someone new, and the chemistry is undeniable. It's tempting to want everything to move quickly, to text back right away, plan the next date immediately, and dive headfirst into the relationship. But what if, instead, you leaned into patience? What if you allowed things to unfold naturally, giving him the space to miss you, think about you, and pursue you on his own terms? When you practice patience, you show him that you're not desperate for his attention. You communicate that your life is full and fulfilling, and while you're excited about the connection, you're not rushing to make it the center of your world. This creates a sense of intrigue and respect because it shows that you value yourself and the relationship enough to let it grow organically. But let's address the elephant in the room. Patience isn't easy. It requires a deep level of self-awareness and trust, especially when you're excited about someone. So how can you cultivate this kind of patience without feeling like you're playing games? Start by focusing on what you can control. This is a core tenet of Stoicism, which teaches us to direct our energy toward our own actions, thoughts, and growth, rather than trying to force outcomes. Instead of anxiously waiting for his next text or overthinking his responses, redirect that energy into something that nourishes you. Go to the gym, dive into a creative project, or spend quality time with friends. When you're busy living your life, you're not only less preoccupied with his every move, but you're also reminding yourself of your own value. Patience also shows in how you handle disagreements or challenges. For example, if he says something that bothers you, it's tempting to react immediately, especially if emotions are running high. But true patience means taking a moment to pause, breathe, and respond thoughtfully. Instead of snapping back or withdrawing, you might say, "I need a little time to think about this. Let's revisit it later." This approach not only diffuses tension, but also demonstrates emotional resilience, one of the most attractive qualities you can have. Let's look at another scenario. Imagine he's taking his time to define the relationship. It's easy to feel frustrated or insecure in these moments, wondering if you should push for clarity. But here's where patience becomes your superpower. Instead of demanding answers or rushing the process, focus on the present. Enjoy the time you're spending together without attaching expectations to every interaction. When you're patient, you give the relationship the space it needs to grow, and you allow him to come to you willingly, because he wants to, not because he feels pressured. Practicing patience doesn't mean tolerating disrespect or ambiguity forever. It's about recognizing the difference between letting things unfold naturally and ignoring red flags. If he consistently shows a lack of effort or commitment, patience also means knowing when to walk away. True patience is rooted in self-respect, not passivity. And let's not forget the power of patience in creating anticipation. Think about the excitement of waiting for a highly anticipated event, whether it's a concert, a vacation, or even the next episode of your favorite show. The wait doesn't diminish the experience, it heightens it. The same principle applies to relationships. When you give him the gift of time, whether it's by spacing out your texts, letting him plan the next date, or simply holding back from oversharing, you create a sense of excitement and longing that keeps him coming back for more. One of the most profound insights from Stoicism is the idea that patience isn't about enduring, it's about thriving in the present moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen." This wisdom applies beautifully to relationships. By practicing patience, you're allowing the connection to blossom naturally without rushing or forcing it. But patience isn't just for the big moments. It's a mindset you can apply every day. For example, if he's had a stressful week and seems distant, resist the urge to flood him with messages or demand explanations. Instead, give him space and trust that he'll come back when he's ready. This quiet confidence not only shows emotional strength, but also signals that you're secure enough to trust the process. As you practice patience, you'll notice a shift, not just in how he responds to you, but in how you feel about yourself. You'll feel more grounded, more confident, and more in tune with your own needs and desires. And when you bring this energy into your relationships, it becomes undeniable. He'll see you as someone who's calm, self-assured, and deeply secure, someone worth chasing. Now let's hear from you. If this secret resonates with you, like this video and comment number 1 below to let us know how patience has transformed your perspective. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss another insight into mastering the art of relationships and embracing the wisdom of Stoic dating. You've made it through the 10 secrets to make any man chase you. And now you hold the keys to transforming your relationships, and more importantly, your sense of self. Each secret, rooted in timeless wisdom and Stoic dating principles, isn't just about captivating someone else. It's about discovering and embracing your most authentic, confident self. Think about what you've learned: cultivating mystery, building emotional resilience, communicating effectively, staying true to your values, and practicing patience. These aren't fleeting tricks or surface-level tactics. They are foundational qualities that will not only draw the right man to you, but also elevate every area of your life. With each step, you're not just making yourself more attractive, you're becoming someone who inspires respect, admiration, and love. But here's the truth. These secrets only work when you put them into action. Reading or hearing them is one thing, but living them is what makes the difference. So what will you do next? Will you take the time to reflect on your core values? Will you practice being decisive in your choices? Will you embrace the patience that allows great things to grow? The journey starts with one small step, and it starts now. Before you go, I want to leave you with a challenge. Choose one of these secrets to focus on this week. Maybe it's diving deeper into your passions to demonstrate independence, or perhaps it's slowing down to cultivate patience. Whatever you choose, commit to it fully and watch how it transforms your interactions, not just with him, but with everyone around you. If you found these insights valuable, I'd love to hear from you. Like this video and comment to let me know which secret resonates with you the most. Your feedback isn't just encouraging, it's what helps us create even more content tailored to your journey. And don't stop here. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another video on embracing the wisdom of Stoicism, improving your relationships, and becoming the best version of yourself. Together, we're building a community of empowered individuals who understand that the most magnetic quality is living with purpose and authenticity. Thank you for spending this time with me and for taking the first steps toward creating the kind of connections that are not only meaningful, but life-changing. Until next time, keep practicing these principles, keep growing, and keep embracing your inner strength. The best is yet to come.